Hello students and welcome to the online teaching session. Children, in the previous videos we have studied about the roots and the function of the roots, and after that we have read that what are the adaptations in root to absorb water and minerals. Now today we will see the modes of absorption of water and mineral by the root up to the xylem. In this case, the first point is imbibition. Okay. Now see, what is the meaning of imbibition? This imbibition word means adsorption. Okay. We have all read about absorption, children. The meaning of absorption is when the water gets soaked by some of the substances. But the meaning of adsorption is, it is a surface phenomena. Okay. Now what is the meaning of surface phenomena, children? Suppose this is a plank of wood, and if we soak this plank of wood in water, then what happens? The upper layer of the water, it will adsorb water on its surface only, and the portion that is below, that will not be soaked, it will not wet. This is called as the surface phenomena, when only the surface gets soaked by water. And this is adsorption. So we can say that imbibition is adsorption of water molecule, okay, by colloidal substance. Now see children, the meaning of colloidal substance. I think so in your class 8th or 7th you all have read about solution, suspension and colloids. We have read that when the solutes are completely dissolved into the solvent, then it forms solution. And when solute do not dissolve in water, then that is called as the suspension. And in between the two, when the molecules of solute is mixed into the solvent in such a way that if it looks like, that is, it is completely dissolved, but actually it does not dissolve. This is called as the colloids. Okay, the particle or the substances which appears to be mixed into the water, but actually they do not. So we can say that adsorption of water is done in colloidal substance. And what are those colloidal substances? Substances are starch, proteins, clear? These are the substances. Cellulose, even we can write off. These are the substances on which we can see the adsorption. Clear? So this is the phenomena, and the phenomena is called as the imbibition. Now say children, what is the significance of this imbibition? Actually this imbibition creates a pressure. Okay, whenever it imbibes water, when these substances imbibe water, then it creates a pressure, and that pressure is called as the imbibition pressure. Okay, and because of this imbibition pressure, water moves up in the root hairs. Okay, so what was our topic? The topic was how the water gets up into the plant, and the answer will be imbibition. By the process of imbibition pressure, water moves up into the plant via root hairs. Clear? Now, what happens if we soak a seed? Clear? We all have seen that if we soak a seed in water and if we'll keep it overnight, then what happens? we can see that the seed coat gets ruptured. It breaks. So how it happens? It happens because of the process of imbibition. Because the seed absorbs water, and because of that it swells up, and if it swells, then definitely the seed coat will rupture. Okay. Now all it happens because of the imbibition pressure. One more example. We all have seen that if there is a crack, okay, crack in stone. Suppose if this is a crack in stone, let me make it clear. Okay. Suppose if this is a crack in stone, and by luck there is one piece of a seed. Okay. Then what happens? This seed will absorb water and it will start germinating. Okay. And because of this, the crack will become widened like this. Okay. Now how this stone crack had become widened? Just because of the imbibition pressure. Okay. And children, you must be surprised to know that this imbibition pressure is near about 1000 atmospheric pressure in a seed. I mean to say that a piece of a seed can generate 1000 atmospheric pressure, and because of that only it is able to make a large crack in a stone. This is the effect of the imbibition pressure. Okay. Now we have to see the significance. See the significance of the imbibition. Okay. Number one, by the imbibing water, seeds can be soaked. First point. Second point, it helps in uptake of water by root hairs. Clear? Then it helps in movement of water from cell to cell. Okay, like if these are the cells, then water will move from one cell to another cell by the imbibition pressure. Okay, so this is all about imbibition. Now see what we have seen in case of imbibition, that is, it is a adsorption of the water molecule on the colloidal substances, and this imbibition helps in this one seed, helps in soaking of the seed, number one. Then it helps in the movement of water from cell to cell. Clear? Now our next topic will be diffusion. Now our next topic is diffusion. Okay, and the meaning of diffusion is the movement of molecule of a substance from a region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. See children, definition once again. Movement of, rather we can say that it is a free movement of, okay, free movement of molecules or molecule of a substance. Now what are these molecules of a substance? The substance may be solute, solvent or any other substance. Okay, we can say that solid, liquid and gas, all the three substances. Solid, liquid and gas. Now see, free movement of molecule of a solid, liquid or gas from a region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration is known as diffusion. Okay. Now just we'll understand this with some examples. For example, when a perfume is spilled, okay, at one corner of the room, then what happens? After some time, we feel that smell to the next room even. So how it happens? Perfume is a liquid. Whenever it will spill at one corner of the room, then it will evaporate and all its fumes, vapors, they will move into the air and reaches to the different room, and we can get the smell. This is the diffusion. Okay, let me tell you one more example. If we burn the essence stick at one corner of the room, and if we are outside somewhere, or suppose if our mother cooks food and when the pressure blows, and suppose if we are in the different room, then there also we can get the smell of the essence stick, number one, as well as if something is being cooked into the kitchen, then we can get the smell of the cooking into the next room. So how it happens? Just because of the diffusion. Now see, on this basis, the definition is the movement of molecules, the movement of particles from the higher region. Now the meaning of higher region is from where it has been originated. Okay, that is the higher region to the lower region until it becomes equilibrium. It becomes constant. Then that is called as the diffusion. Clear? Now see some examples of this. That is significance. The significance of diffusion. Why we need this diffusion in case of a plant. Okay. Significance of diffusion. Point number 1. That is, it helps in exchange of CO2 and O2 within the plant. Now see, what I mean to say that, suppose if this is a leaf, we all know that leaf always undergo for the process of photosynthesis. It prepares its own food by absorbing air. Okay, and from the air it will take CO2 and it will give out O2. Okay, so it happens because of the process of diffusion. Now see, outside the environment of the leaf, now the pressure of the air is much more than inside the leaves. And because of this pressure, the molecules of the air, which is at the higher concentration, they will start moving inside the leaf. Okay, and now leaves will use all the CO2, and after using CO2, definitely oxygen will be left. And now inside the leaf, the volume of the oxygen, the quantity of the oxygen is maximum in comparison to the environment. So once again, inside the leaf, there is a higher concentration of oxygen, and so the O2 will come out. This is the significance of the diffusion. Okay. Now, one more significance is smell of flowers. Okay. We all know that these flowers, the petals, they as well as they attract the insects, and all these flowers, they have the nectar gland, which used to secrete the chemical. Okay, and because of that chemical, the wasp or the insects, they attract towards the flower, and then they help in the pollination. Now how it happens? Because at the base of the flower, okay, The chemical releases from the base of the flower. The chemical releases. Now this is at the higher concentration and then it will reach to the environment which is at the lower concentration. So this is the next significance of the diffusion. Now see, the movement of sugar as well as solute and water between the adjacent cell is done by diffusion. Okay, this is the important significance for us. Movement of sugar, solute and water between the adjacent cells. Suppose if I used to draw the cells of a plant, then what happens? The water as well as the minerals, they are at the higher concentration in the soil. Okay, they'll start moving in and through these adjacent cell. Where is the higher concentration? It will definitely reaches to the lower concentration. Now from here it will reaches till we get the equilibrium condition, that is the constant condition. Till then the movement of the molecule will be continued. This is called as the diffusion, that is the movement of molecule from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. Okay, and all this process helps in the movement of water, movement of mineral, movement of molecules from the soil to the roots. Clear? Now our next topic will be osmosis.